Yeah. We're here now. I'm just checking up
What up? What
everything
up?
here.
What up? What up?
I just wanted to further take you off here. The Knicks showed up the other night against the
Here we
76ers.
go. Yo, my man's
I
always
have to
talking about
keep
the
you
Knicks.
informed. I have to keep you informed because my hope is one day you're
When
gonna
I come
watch the
around.
Knicks with me. Yeah, you're gonna watch the Knicks with me.
Nah, man.
Kemba Walker showed up, showed out, 19 points,
Oh, Kemba's on the
and
Knicks?
that's right, 112-99 victory over the
Wow.
76ers. So come on, I'm hoping I get you. I hope I get
Yo.
you fired up.
Yo.
With, yeah.
I got a really quick question. I'm gonna deviate really quick
No, go for it.
before I come out of this TikTok. Tell us a bit before we go officially live. Do you lean more liberal or conservative? Some question I'm getting here. Do you lean more
Me?
liberal or conservative?
Oh, I must stay true to what I've always been saying since we started podcasting. I lean conservative. Period.
But you were liberal by default in New York.
I was liberal up until a point, somewhere around the Bush administration.
You voted for Obama.
I did not vote. I never voted in my life.
Oh, okay. All right. I would. That's my man Obama. So
What?
nah, it's not my man's actually, but I voted for my
Wait.
man's when I didn't know about my man's.
Yeah, I was never a supporter of Obama. I didn't like even though it was the best campaign in American history. The only thing that kept running through my head, Savory, was how in the world do you go from all this debt, trillions and trillions of dollars? We're in the middle of a war, and you got somebody running saying, "I want to provide you free healthcare." No, it didn't work in my brain, even as a young 17, 18-year-old hearing the Yes We Can campaign. As good as it was, as
Oh,
the
really?
greatest campaign in history, it did not make feasible sense to me. How do you offer universal health care when we're in a national debt? That told me everything I needed to know. Our politicians don't give a damn about our national debt,
At the
and the only
time,
ones talking about it is conservatives.
man, black presidents sounded like the wave. That's the problem in politics.
It
Is the
sounded
wave.
like the wave until
Is
Ben
the wave.
Carson ran until Ben Carson ran
And he was
under
late
the
for a race.
Republican ticket, right?
That's
See,
that's
everything's
gotta wait
okay
for
with the black people. Blacks need to stay on the left to the left. The minute they turn right, they go, nah. They
yo,
had all these nasty things to say about my man Ben Carson, who is a brilliant minded person.
but he's
Brilliant.
Republican though, so chill. He ain't that
He's
brilliant.
Republican through and through. My man is a serious conservative. My
Yeah, he's
man
probably
will
one of the smartest people out there. Literally, not politicians. I'm talking about people. That man is has a hell of a brain, man. But my man got no
let's
credit
get
for
this
that.
going here. Let's entertain our two people audience right now. Hello and welcome to another live broadcast. I'm Macho, that's Savory, and together we are Drinks with a Nobody. And you're watching us on Nobody TV. Be sure to follow us on Twitch at MachoFix88 and at Savory_Edition. Be sure to also follow us on Twitter, as my man Savory here is booming on TikTok as well. The TikTok is booming for
Yeah,
Savory.
out here.
How many did you just have on your live just now?
I don't know. I only see the numbers at the end, so I'm not sure how many people are now. I see people coming in and out, but
But
I'm
you
loving
have
it.
people
I'm loving
engaging.
it though. I'm
You already
loving.
happy?
We out here though having fun. Let me see. Oh, okay,
And
okay, yeah.
let me continue here. And in case you miss any of our previous broadcasts, go on YouTube, type in Drinks with the Nobody, and please hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell so you never miss a thing. When we go live, you'll know it. Hey, Savory, why on earth do we want anyone
Mm.
to come join us on this live? Why do we even want an audience? What kind of audience do we want?
Man, we want an audience, but most importantly, we're really trying to build a community. All right, we're trying to build that community of people who come together, talk about all different kind of ideas. We all got different journeys, and I feel like we at a crossroads in politics where certain people can't say certain things. Certain people can't really be honest with what they believe with family members, their jobs, their friends. It's just a sad time. So, we're trying to bring that kind of community together, that channel of people who really are just, you know what? Let's talk about it, right? Yeah, you ever have somebody just come up to you and be like, let's talk about it, right? That's what we're trying to do. Let's
Yeah,
talk
that's
about
it.
it. So
And
that's
thanks
it.
for joining, Kristen. Hello and
Oh, thanks for
welcome to
joining. Thanks for joining. You was on the TikTok, right? I got the right person here.
That's right. I think she was, yeah.
Appreciate you.
Our
Appreciate you
our
for joining.
newly moved Floridian now.
Okay.
So please, as you're tuning in live and as you watch us on replay, please do yourself a favor. Go into your fridge, grab a drink of choice, drink whatever it is you want. Let's have this discussion over a drink and prepare to engage. Savory, I think you wanted to kind of deviate a bit today. So let me know exactly where you want to go today. We got
Um,
some hot topics today.
nah. I think we coming in hot with the in and out. We good. We coming in hot.
Oh, okay, okay.
No,
So
we coming in hot. We
back
coming
to
in
our
the in and out.
previously
Yeah,
scheduled
back to
program.
regular scheduled program. Let's come in hot.
All right. So basically, what we're doing here today is we're going to commentate on some issues, some headlines here, and you're going to see our live reactions. We're going to watch it together. We're gonna come at it with a different perspective because we want here at Drinks with a Nobody. We're breaking down culture. We're breaking down politics, one topic at a time. And what better way to do that to start with this hot topic, Savory, and that is in and out. In and out
Wow.
shutdowns. In and out shutdowns. What in the world is
What's
going
going on?
on?
We said that at the same time. Crazy. But really, what in the world is going on? Like in and out is shut down. And
Yeah.
people aware of this? In and out is shut down. You know why? They should have followed the rules. That's a
Here's
justification.
what the exactly. That is a great segue. Here's
Wow.
what someone had to say about that in terms of following the rules.
They weren't playing by the rules, and my understanding is they were given over two weeks to comply.
The executive director of the Golden Gate Restaurant Association says if smaller restaurants can follow the rules, so can In-N-Out.
It's pretty selfish because there's a lot of children that aren't vaccinated yet. We know the 5 to.
And here we are. We
Here
can
we
prepare now. In and Out is
Here
moving to
we
Florida. In and Out is they're going to open more stores in Texas. In-N-Out is out of California probably after this.
Yeah,
You cannot mess with
this is
this.
out of control. And you heard her justification?
What was her
Children are not
justification?
vaccinated. What?
What?
Go back really quick.
Let's go back, and
Did she
I
really
think I might have
mention
missed that.
children
I
for
think
her justification?
I might have missed that.
because there's a lot of children that aren't vaccinated yet. We know the 5 to 11-year-old cohort. We know there's a lot of immunocompromised folks out there that are constantly exposed.
Wait, are the children immunocompromised?
Yeah,
Why is the focus on the children? No, leave my kids out of it, bro.
Yo,
Leave my
vaccination
kids
at
out of
all
it.
costs. That's what they're doing here. Vaccination at all costs. This is what they sound. This is crazy. Like
Why?
you're now trying to get people vaccinated for a political victory, right? In order to prompt up your numbers, to consider yourself and the right side of history, or whatever that means. This is crazy.
This is crazy, and I don't
Yeah, I
understand.
know.
We have another reaction here. From this was actually 7 hours ago, Savory. Someone news coverage has been
Yeah.
covering this. So
From the
check
last
this out.
video, they weren't shut down yet officially. They only shut down their indoor dining, right? Now
But
this the next step where they shut them down totally.
they shut them down. A couple of their locations shut down. Not all of them, but a couple of their locations. So they're coming after them, though. They're coming after them.
And stores were closed.
No fries, no burgers, no service. Doors were locked because health officials say this Pleasant Hill location had COVID citations. Several repeated ones, they say. Workers were not checking the vaccine status of customers eating inside as it's required. Now, this location...
This is
This is
ridiculous.
Nazi Germany level. That's not even an
This is
extreme to say. They're
ridiculous.
checking your papers for a medical status. You understand what that is?
Savory, prepared to be canceled for making that kind of analogy.
That's crazy.
How dare you make that kind of analogy?
Yo, I'm at a loss for this, right? Or some of the comments here. Sad day for Cali, amazing day for Florida. No, we hear you. They need to leave my
Facts.
kids out of it. Facts. This is getting out of control, and the California residents need to get control out of the state.
Couldn't agree
these
with you
people
more.
need to stand
Couldn't
up.
agree with you more. Yep.
These people need to stand up because this is ridiculous.
And this is the difference here. Like I hear a lot of people calling for people to be an army and all, using that kind of serious, probably I would say it could be a right place for it, Savory. And you could correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to call people to be a part of a cult or an army. Just do your citizen, live by your citizen self, your God-forsaken freedom. You've been given freedom to speak here in this country. Just raise up. We're trying to rise people up to talk. And we want people who disagree with us because we want to show our government that we can actually agree on things. We don't have to sit here and cut each other off just because, hey, you know what? Screw you, you Trumplican, KKK Trumplican. What?
Yeah,
You do realize I'm a Hispanic, right?
yeah. I'm telling you, these people's logic is literally no common sense because
There is
they
none.
would say whatever they need to say to justify what they need
Yep.
to do and what they need to push. It's political games at its most manipulative, you know. And then really quick, as we end this quick segment on the In-N-Out here, the mandate will also require staff indoor areas to these businesses to show proof of vaccination or a weekly test on November 1st. So they were about to roll that out, but they know the employees all weren't going to be with it because not all employees are In-N-Out, supposedly are not vaccinated. And now they're kind of regulating you see how it starts? You regulate one part of the business, you regulate another one, and then you shut them down. You regulate one, you ask for a requirement here, and then you shut them down. That's the opposite of freedom. Opposite of freedom.
That is. And
Right.
again, why are you intervening on the business when, first off, Savory, there's a national debt that's way out of control. You need businesses to operate. Let them operate. Come to a deal. Because say, hey, you know what? We don't need everyone, or we will come to an agreement on percentages. Sure, but don't intervene on my business, because if you do that, it affects everyone in a massive scale. Look, we have a person here who was a former resident of California. And what do you think is going to happen to In-N-Out when people leave and people are not going to their stores? They'll shut down and go somewhere else.
And why do you think these businesses don't care, right? This is my logic. I think I've told you this before, right?
Oh,
Um,
excellent point, Kristen. You need businesses to operate and people to be employed.
yeah, for
Facts.
sure. But this is my logic with these states, right? When we look at New York, I appreciate you, Christine. She says she won't let me be canceled. I appreciate the love. Yeah. Let me know who you know, right? Just in case I can reach out to you. But um, these liberal big states like New York and Cali, they get incredible amount of money in funding from the federal government. So they're willing to sacrifice the average family and businesses because they're getting a lot more money than a lot of other people or other states, I mean, are usually getting, right? Cali gets the legislation they pass, and when they pass, and the Congress is passing a bill, look at the percentage that goes to Cali and New York. So they kind of sacrifice business because, oh, we're getting $100 million. We can replace you. It's a sad thing. They don't care about the people.
Putting other states in jeopardy. You're signing blank checks to these states that do not manage their funding at all well. There's a lot of things going on in California, a lot of shadiness going on with the funding there, a lot of shadiness going on in New York City. How come, Savory, how come the $1 billion that went missing in New York City, according to a report, multiple reports, that the Mayor de Blasio's wife actually or lost $1 billion in the New York City budget? And this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about here.
Nobody cares about that.
This should have been major news, headlines. This should have been going across, ringing alarms. This should be a talking point in the mayoral debate right now with Saliwa and Curtis and Curtis is Saliwa, and then you have Eric Adams. Why that's not coming up is beyond me. Even on both sides, they should be ashamed of themselves. Well, just to further talk positively on Florida, Ron DeSantis is offering $5,000 to officers. Here's why. We have a clip here.
And before you play that clip, I just want to read this to give people some context, right? As you keep that up, right? We have they look at the title of this, right? Vanity Fair came out with an article. Look at the title. It says, Ron DeSantis is now offering anti-vaxxer cops $5,000 to move to Florida.
Anti-vaxxer.
That's the title of this. This is insane.
Nice try.
And look at the first sentence before we go into this video. Look how ridiculous this is. You ready? As Florida Governor, Ron DeSantis has made abundantly clear over the last year and a half, he'd rather score political points with the personal freedoms crowd than actually protect the lives of his constituents and end COVID-19 pandemic. You see how they frame it? They actually do kind of what like Obama did with the rigged election, saying that the Republicans are rigging it. You're playing this reverse psychology on people. It's a sad thing. Right now, he's actually the one trying to get out the way and let people live.
And I love what he's doing here, Savory, for many reasons. And anyone out there, comment. We would like to hear your thoughts as to what Ron DeSantis is doing. He's doing this for the country, and I'll tell you why. Why he's doing this for the country. He's doing this for the country because if you deplete police officers in different cities, guess what happens? They are in danger. So now, Mr. Biden, this is an employees bargaining chip now, right? So you're going to have to now bargain with the police unions and start talking to them and saying, maybe we need to slow down here. We don't need to deplete some of these states of cops leaving. You don't think cops will leave? Do you think, I'm going to say, do you really think cops are going to leave their states?
Some of them will, yeah. Some of them certainly will, yeah. And I wanted that context. See how look how they're framing him. And now let's play this video in context of how the media is framing. Now you make your own opinion and thoughts on what's happening.
Where you can do your job, we'll pay your moving costs to get there. Tell me where this is coming from.
Well, quite simply, this is coming from our
This is the lieutenant governor speaking on behalf of the 5K offer to officers moving to Florida. And not only is he offering 5K, he's offering to help relocate them. Savory.
Wow.
He's not playing around. He's not playing around.
Give you
law enforcement agenda that we've had since day one when we got elected. What the governor has announced is that we are going to actively recruit out-of-state law enforcement to come to Florida, to the free state of Florida, and we're not going to force mandates down their throats. We are going to provide them not only with the support, but also the tools to be successful. And part of that is making sure that they can come here to Florida. We will give them the proper training. We will give them the bonuses, and we will support them every step of the way. We passed first of its kind historic legislation.
How can you be mad at that? I don't care how you headline this, Savory.
Wow.
How could you be mad at that approach?
Like, yo, that's what you want from your
That's
leader.
a state that backs the blue. Not only do they back the blue, they back their people.
That's what it is about. I was going to say that's even deeper than the blue. These people are actually backing up their people in their careers, where they're heading. So if you move to Florida, like, these politicians will do a great job if they learn how to stay out of the way.
Yo,
It's just so crazy how they can do so well by staying out of the way.
when is it a necessary time for government to intervene?
National emergency if another country is invading us.
So a national emergency like
That's
an
one of them.
earthquake, a hurricane, or if a country is trying to invade us, like, Japan and Pearl Harbor, or so on and so
Yeah,
forth.
that's their job, right? That's why we have a national security system where, saying they protect us at war, because that's where our tax dollars go as well, right?
I'm trying to understand the rationality of right now, though. Would this be considered one of those times that they need to intervene when you have a global health crisis? Just for a talking point here.
Definitely not. Definitely not. First of
But
all,
this is a national health crisis.
no,
Am I right?
this is not a national health crisis.
Why not?
I don't believe it's a national health crisis. I believe this COVID-19 is something that's affecting people and their families, but I believe it's not a crisis because people are not dropping left and right like the media is portraying it to be, right? So that's where it gets tricky. So because then this is what's tricky with this. We set a weird precedence now where we say you just have to convince people that we're in a crisis, and now you can take a little bit of their freedom every time, right? What are we going to do if we have a new variant every single year with a new thought process and with a new governor and with a new, you don't have the rights to ever tell me what I do with
Right.
my life, my body, my family. I don't care who you are. We don't
Right.
live in a kingship. So yeah.
And then that's what we ran from. We had an American Revolution away from the whole idea of a monarchy. This does not give them the excuse or the reason to now become that. And here's the thing. Look, I'm going to give you a different spin here. I'm going to give you a spin here. Okay. Ready? I feel that the government can intervene on certain bases. And here's where I'm getting at is allow doctors the room to work and to test hypotheses, to produce hypotheses and to test them. Do not pick one doctor over the other and saying this one is speaking facts, that one is speaking lies. Why? How do now the government now wants to? It could have been more clear that they're trying to speak an agenda when you silence the mouths of all these doctors that spoke at a congressional hearing saying there are other ways we can fight this. Why couldn't we listen to that? Why couldn't we have a choice? That's where I'm getting at.
If they're about health, why do they sell cigarettes?
Oh.
Yeah. Why they shut
Yo,
down
she
the gyms?
is on fire today.
Yo,
Wow.
why they shut down the gyms though? That's my biggest question since this started. How you shut down the gyms? But anyway.
Somebody put on Twitter, I'm still waiting for the World Health Organization to talk about how our health are being overweight and all that stuff is more a disaster for us than COVID-19. But we'll never get there. All right, moving on to the next topic here. I believe yes. AG Merrick Garland was grilled in the congressional hearing today, and he's under fire for specifically not only for dealing with Anthony Fauci, which is what a lot of Republicans. I'm going to be straight. I'm not going to be vague and say, oh, congressmen or members of Congress. I'm going to be straightforward. Republicans are pissed off with Garland because he's not doing anything about Dr. Fauci. He's
Yeah. Are there
untouchable.
any Democrats frustrated about this Fauci situation? I don't
That
get
is-
it. Like,
I don't think so.
that's crazy.
I
Like,
don't
it's
think
not
so.
even, dang, that's how you know it's politicized. Like, really? This is
A former member of the WHO, Jamie Metzel, he worked for the WHO, especially during the time of the pandemic, was on Newsmax yesterday morning, and he said that Dr. Fauci did not commit perjury. And he further argued that what Rand Paul was questioning him on, I had to say this because
Get
this
out my
really pissed me off. He said that what Rand Paul questioned him on is the generic or the general base ideology of gain of function research. Whereas
get my face with
Dr.
that, bro.
Dr. Fauci was responding from a more specific tone of gain of function. And I'm like, yeah, nice try, buddy. He should go to jail. He should be fired. I don't know why he's not being dealt with or investigated when members of Congress, specifically the Republicans, have brought up more information than the leftist Democrats ever did over Trump. He got him red-handed, Savory. Red-handed, lying.
Crazy, man.
This is ridiculous. Anyways, he's under fire for this specific reason. They covered this a few weeks ago, and I thought this would be a great time to kind of, for context reasons, to bring this up.
That's right, guys. Attorney General Garland is having federal authorities like the FBI hold strategy sessions in the next 30 days. They're going to be holding them with law enforcement, including on the local level, to address these threats being made against teachers and public school employees. Now, we checked in with some teachers in Baltimore County. They tell us they have been receiving threats, that these are the first threats they've ever received in their entire careers, and all they want to do is teach.
All they want to do is teach. All they want to do is teach. What kind of threats are you getting? I looked through the papers. I looked at everything. I'm going to be straight. And I said, what are the threats are they facing? I remember there was a headline from the Post, the New York Post, and it said that Merrick Garland is initiating the FBI to look into the parents who are protesting CRT. That's what this is really about. That's what she failed to mention. Okay. What they're really looking into is this is an act of domestic terrorism. Really?
Which is why they challenged him.
Really?
That challenge was, hey, you're investigating parents because they're standing up for their children when it comes to CRT, but now you can't do anything or even look into Fauci possibly lying.
That was another thing. That was a great point, Savory, because he was even asked about that.
Crazy.
Oh, so you're looking into the possible terror threats on teachers, but you're not even looking into the Dr. Fauci when we got him red-handed. He was lying. We served it to you. Oh, I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to comment on this. You can't make this up. This is ridiculous.
It's really out of
you
control.
Cannot. There was I did have the Tom Cotton thing here, and I'm trying to figure out exactly where I have it here. So bear with me.
The Colin Noor, or
not the Colin Noor, the Tom Cotton when he was grilling.
Oh yeah. And you know that's going to be another interesting clip because that shows our ignorance as you look for the video there. Like that shows our ignorance of actually not knowing anything about the Second Amendment. Like questions like I'm always floored when I hear this from people who consistently walk around with bodyguards, who consistently have their own kind of personal luxury and security, where you're not living in these places where of course you don't care who has a gun or not because you're well protected. Ignorance.
And yeah, that's the next talking point when we get into gun control. Great point right there, Savory. But I just have the clip here. I'm going to roll this up of Tom Cotton grilling the Attorney General, and you guys are going to get to see front and center what was really going on. And I love the way Tom Cotton did it because he was rational and he was to the point, and he got him. And I think he actually got a rise on him. But I'll let you guys be the judge of that right here. And then we also have a mother's response to what's actually going on in our schools.
this decision.
Spoke to me about it because I didn't speak to no one.
All right.
Made that
All right.
to me.
Judge, you've repeatedly dissembled this morning about that directive. For instance, about the National Security Division. Chuck Grassley asked you a very simple question, why you would sic the National Security Division of the Department of Justice on parents. John Cornyn asked you the same thing. You said it wasn't in your October 4th memorandum, it was in another office's memorandum. It was another office's memorandum, Judge. It was in a press release from your office, right here in front of me, October.
So you don't comment, you don't say anything about it, but you wrote a press release, you wrote a memo about what the investigating or possibly investigating or looking into the school board being possibly terrorized or being threatened.
October 4th, 2021, for immediate release. You're going to create a task force that includes the National Security Division. What on earth does the National Security Division have to do with parents who are expressing disagreements at school boards?
I mean, you can't ask a better question than that, Savory. You can't ask a better question than that.
You're getting right to it. Answer my
Again,
question.
I asked this question yesterday. Why are we so quick to mobilize the National Guard?
Yeah, you did ask that. That's a good question. Is why, again, my answer to that was they're trying to drill in that people are replaceable. They're trying to drill in that fear of like, yo, if you quit, yeah, go march, go fight for your rights, but we'll replace you anyways, right? It's a manipulative tactic to get people in a fear mindset.
Excellent point. And to add to that, they want to mobile, and this is where I want you guys to put a thumb on the whole that question. Why on earth are they so quick to want to mobilize the National Guard? So I want to put a thumb on that right there, because when we move to the gun control, we have a lot of thoughts on that I think it'll be enlightening.
Yeah.
Nothing in this memorandum or any memorandum is about parents expressing disagreements with their school boards. The memorandum makes clear that parents are entitled and protected by the First Amendment to have vigorous debates. We don't, the Justice Department is not interested in that question at all. It is
Okay, so even in that case, what is the National Security Division, Judge? These are the people that are supposed to be chasing jihadists and Chinese spies. What does the National Security Division have to do with parents at school boards?
This is not, again, about parents at school boards.
That's you see how this is how, by the way, quick history. Obama weaponized the IRS, right? The way he did that was he went after conservative fundraisers and stuff like that. He weaponized them and kind of targeted. It's the same thing that's happening here. This is how you abuse power in the United States. You can't go beast mode and just pull people out of their homes. So you strategically use the system and manipulate the powers at hand that you have, right? So the president mobilizes people like in the IRS, national security, to either spy on people. You know, it happened to Trump. Obama did. You know, you do all these things, and you use the legal ways in manipulative ways, right? This is the deceit of this country, right? It's sad.
And a lot of that has to fall on Bush's hands, because he was the one that signed that executive order to be able to spy on Americans.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Snowden. That's the whole Snowden thing where
Snowden was Bush, Obama. Were guilty of spying on Americans, all for the sake of safety. Excuse you.
Exactly. They're always going to
Excuse me.
It's always about safety. I'm telling you.
Always about safety. Folks, we're not making this. This is not new. This is not a conspiracy. This has been said for years, that the whole idea of the government intervening all for the sake of safety. Hello, for the safety. Before there was even a COVID pandemic. Come on now.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any darn
Look
sense.
at that. We gave our freedoms up in 2001, like you mentioned. There was a slow roll of our freedoms being taken away. Like now,
do you
always
think
gonna justify with safety? It's always gonna be about safety.
Facts.
I don't care for the government to keep me safe. I didn't sign up for that.
That's your job. That's your job. You got the strap in your house? I'm just curious. You got the strap?
I need to get one though.
You better. I know Jersey Jersey has a strict gun law where you could only have a certain amount of rounds in a magazine clip. Are you kidding me? They're
Yes.
clipping it. You can't even fill the magazine round.
Like,
But you can,
like what?
yeah. That's another conversation.
That's
I
crazy.
hope Jack Chillarelli wins in Jersey. I really, really do hope, for your sake at least.
Jack
Yeah,
Chillarelli.
I had a question about this Garland thing. Could this be? I want to explore this because you know how the progressives are. Could this be misinformation? Was he really looking, or did he really mobilize the FBI to look at these parents who are threatening these school boards as an act of terror, as a possible act of terror?
Did he do it as an act of terror towards the
Did he
parents?
mobilize the security apparatus of this country?
Oh yeah,
He
without
did,
a doubt.
right?
Without a
He
doubt.
did.
Well, like, what other reason is it going to
That's
be? It's
clear
either
here.
it's
Yeah.
either CRT is a threat to national security, the fighting against that, right? Fighting against CRT. The parents are either a threat to national security, or you're weaponizing the agency, and you're weaponizing because our
Or
parents are
there could be something really happening behind the scenes that someone, because they're always bad characters, they're always bad character savory, that someone could be using this as an opportunity to do something really disastrous, something extreme, whether it's on the far right or the far left. You have idiots out there that'll be willing to use this as an opportunity to say, oh, people are protesting this. This seems really, really big. Boom, let's probably let off a bomb. So he could probably be looking into that, maybe.
Who knows? But let's hear some of that though. If it is,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
why are
let's
you
hear-
being disingenuous? Yo, come out with it. Oh, but we can't comment because we don't want them to do it. Let them know that you got your teeth out.
yeah,
Let them know that I know what you're doing. But no, you want to keep us in the dark. You're not really trying to keep Americans safe.
It's just about threats of violence.
Okay, let me turn to that because you've said that phrase repeatedly.
So it's not really about what I just said. It's about threats of violence. So specifically about parents being violent towards the teachers.
Throughout the morning. Threats or violence and threats of violence. Violence and threats of violence.
Yeah.
We've heard it a dozen times this morning. As Senator Lee pointed out, the very first line in your October 4th memorandum refers to harassment and intimidation. Why do you continue to dissemble in front of this committee that you are only talking about violence and threats of violence when your memo says harassment and intimidation?
What?
Senator, I said in my testimony that it involved other kinds of criminal conduct, and I explained to Senator Lee that the statutory definitions of those terms and the constitutional definitions of those terms involve threats of violence.
Okay, let's look at one of those statutes you cited.
Yeah.
Section
I'm curious now,
223.
Savory. I'm curious.
That
Yeah, I'm
statute
locked in now.
covers the use of not just telephones but telecommunications devices to annoy someone. So are you going to sick your U.S. attorneys and the FBI on a parents group if they post on Facebook some?
You see, this is good actually. See,
Oh my God!
this
Can
is
we
the kind of
play this?
grill.
Can we play all of this? He's coming after him, bro.
Yo, this is the kind of grill we need. Like now he's about to really dig in and grill him. I think we
Do
should
you
keep
mind? Do you mind if
we
we
should
keep
keep
playing
playing
this?
this.
Okay. Yo, this is crazy.
Something that annoys a school board member,
The
Judge?
answer to that is no, and the provision that I was particularly drawing to his attention was 2261A, which was to engage in...
I wasn't talking about 2261A. I know you mentioned that. You also mentioned 223. That's what I mentioned.
Yeah, but the only
Okay, Judge, you also told Senator Klobuchar that this memorandum was about meetings and coordination.
Yeah.
Meetings and coordination.
Yeah.
Well, I have in my hand right here that I'll submit to the record a letter from one of your U.S. attorneys to all of the county attorneys, to the attorney general, to all sheriffs, to the school board association of his state, in which he talks about federal investigation and prosecution. It's not about meetings, it's not about coordination, it's about federal investigation and prosecution. Did you direct your U.S. attorney?
Oh, so he's got him on lies on multiple levels.
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
literally reading the memorandum.
Yeah, he lied on the memo. You're using words that you didn't use on the memo to justify what you're doing, and you're leaving. It's like the omission right here. You're lying. You're
Did you
leaving
see?
stuff out.
Did you see the AG reading something? Is he reading the same thing Cotton is reading?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but he's being grilled. His AG's being grilled. This is good. This is what we need. But I hope when this happens, I see these good grills, but then no one gets held accountable. I don't like that.
That's an
Hopefully somebody gets held
excellent point.
accountable. Like
That
come
is
on.
an excellent point. And why is this even important? As I prepare to get to the next clip here, Savory, why is this important? Why do we need to really have this discussion? Why does Tom Cotton need to grill this man in the way that he's doing?
Yeah, because look, you can only go, you have to, in the kind of government we have, this is what people have to understand. The kind of government we have, there are process and steps and procedures to actually do things. So when people don't get held accountable to the process and procedures, they could kind of just this is why executive orders for me are tricky, because you could just sign something and it goes up there, you change everything, which
Yep.
it's like, and now he's grilling him for lying. And right here, this comment right here, lying by omission is still a lie. So when
Yes.
they're asking you something and you know it, you can be held in contempt for actually knowing and not saying it, because there's no
Which is
way I ask you a clear question about something that's related to something you have to tell me. These
right.
people lie in that way all the time. They don't say anything.
And it's punishable up to 5 years in prison, right? Isn't it? But I haven't seen
I think
anybody
that's
go to
correct, yeah.
prison
Never.
in the recent
Ordinary
years.
citizens will go to prison, though. If it's you'll go to prison, bro. Don't get it twisted, though. They won't go to prison.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Here we have on the screen here is a mom speaking out. I want to actually rewind this a bit, Savory, if I may, just
Mhm.
for context, because I think Fox News actually did a good job at prefacing this. But
Let's do
this
it.
mom is speaking out against what's actually happening. Now, could there be acts of violence going on? Of course, there could be acts of violence. It always happens at protests. What I'm concerned with, and even if Tom Cotton and all these other people know of it, tell the public if they're in danger.
Mhm.
Tell them if they're in danger. Let them know, or let the bad character know, we know what you're doing. So don't use this as an opportunity. And I think this is shady behavior
For
on our
sure.
attorney
I'm
general.
a mom, not a domestic terrorist.
Oh God, I didn't even notice that.
Crazy.
I didn't even notice that gray spot.
Come on, man.
Let me go to the beginning here, just for context, if I may. Here, I like the way they covered this. Great job, Fox News. I'm not always in agreement with Fox, just so you know. Even though I'm a conservative, I don't always agree with how they cover things.
Forcing 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9-year-old little children to cover their noses and their mouths where they breathe for a virus that you know doesn't affect them.
The critical race theory has its roots in cultural Marxism. It should have no place in our school.
It has roots in culture and Marxism, and it should have no place in our public
That's how you
schools.
stand up to these tyrannical laws, because they get to decide what they do with it. If you think this virus, you're just going against science. Trust the science, trust the science. If you think this virus is killing kids, you're just going against the science, and you're feeding into the fear of the media. This is insane.
Yeah. Here's what the I'm a mom, not a domestic terrorist. I think her name is Naomi. I think I'll let him pronounce it. I don't want to butcher her name.
The DOJ is encouraging education officials to report parents they see as a threat to the FBI National Threat Operations Center. So that act, sadly, that shirt is appropriate. What's your reaction to this change of events?
Oh, it's outrageous what the federal government is doing now. We have parents right now waking up from sea to shining sea to bring their children to school, to urge them into the day. And what has happened now is that the federal government and the National School Board Association has declared a war on parents. All we have
Very simple. Very simple. Declared a war on parents. So the reason why, here's a shot in the dark. Maybe they're investigating this because of what she just said. The danger may be on the other side, not them. They may need to take now acts of aggression or take acts of physical force to push these parents away, threaten them a bit, shake
Which
them up
means
a
it's
bit.
working. Which means it's working. It means they have momentum. Yeah. Wow.
It's either we do this maybe to shut the parents up, which you're not going to do. We do this, shut the parents up, or we let them speak. But it looks like what they're doing here, and correct me if I'm wrong, Savory, is the attorney general is making this look like there could be acts of violence on these school teachers, and the school board is doing that as a play to scare these parents away from protesting.
Yeah, that's you said it right there. That's definitely what it
That's
seems like.
terrible. I just want to see a little bit more here, and then I want to roll to our final segment of the night.
Done over the past year is stand up and speak up for children.
Go, girl. You go, girl.
It's unconscionable that the Federal Bureau of Investigation should even spend a minute thinking about us. We all reject violence, and all we want is to protect our kids, because we are parents. We are mama bears and papa bears. We are not domestic terrorists, and the government needs to get us and working with them, and they need to listen to us. They need to stop demonizing us.
There it is. Very simple.
The right
Very
to
simple.
petition your government. You see, guys, our Constitution, the right to petition your government. This is what it's about. This, when you lose
Excellent
this
point.
opportunity to petition and fight against your government, you are losing your rights. I don't care if you have the utopian you think you have. If you don't have the right to change anything, this is what happens when you give up freedom. You lose power. Look what she's doing. She's fighting. This is great. Love it. Love it. Love it, man.
That was a great point. So I want to move on to this next topic here. Chip, I think it's Chip Roy, Representative Chip Roy, had a little bit of back and forth with Jerry Nadler today about the use of semi-automatic weapons. And here's what he had to say.
The other side of the aisle knows I too live in Texas. Raised my son, daughter to respect firearms. We shoot them frequently on our property. We shoot semi-automatic weapons on my property. I teach my children how to use them safely. I teach them what they're used for, why we have the ability to have firearms. And yes, we use it for hunting. My son shot his first deer.
Would the gentleman yield for your question?
Briefly.
Yeah, very question. What do you use semi-automatic weapons for?
I use semi-automatic weapons to kill hogs. I use semi-automatic weapons for sport and shooting on our property, but I also have semi-automatic weapons, and I'm getting to the point.
Thank you.
Because a semi-automatic weapon is a weapon that you can use for self-defense. It is a semi-automatic weapon that you can use to defend yourself against home invaders, but also, let's be clear, against...
I mean, do we have to explain that at this point anymore, Savory?
Yeah, crazy. Let him finish his last thought here.
Tyranny. The gentlelady is talking about the Second Amendment in the context of hunting, as if my rights are reduced in the Constitution to a 410 or a single shot or lever action 22, as if that was what was expressly put forth as how we're supposed to be defending ourselves.
Yield again?
And let me go ahead and finish my time, sir, unless we want to add more time.
Very, very quickly, question.
I need more time. Will the gentleman give me another 30 seconds?
Yes.
Okay, I'll yield.
You said that you could use a semi-automatic weapon to fight tyranny.
Sure.
You mean you'd use it against American troops?
The very exact...
Yo, my man said, hold on, if I understand correctly, are you gonna kill our army? You're gonna shoot our troops?
What?
What are you talking? Yeah, come on. What is it right here? Does he know? Is he acting dumb? Is he playing a political game here? Is he trying to get something out of it? Because you can't be that slow right here. Come on.
Come on, man. Come on.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Jeez. That was terrible. That's what you mustered up? That question. It's so good I had to play it again.
When you're a politician in your ivory tower, where you don't have a realization of real life no more because you're in office for 20 plus years.
In Jerry's case, 40 years.
Look at that.
Sure.
You mean you'd use it against American troops?
The very take my time. The very existence of the Second Amendment is designed purposefully to empower the people to be able to resist the force of tyranny used against them to step over their natural rights given to them by God. That is why the Second Amendment exists. That is very specifically why the Second Amendment exists. And let's be very clear about that. Let's rewind the clock a little bit, as I know at least several justices have written in Supreme Court opinions, but about what life looked like in the 19th century and what the government was doing to remove the ability of either slave owners or, importantly, freed blacks, or importantly, whites who even stood up in defense of blacks or against slavery, and the efforts by the South and the efforts by the strong arm of...
And he's just going...
The history, they don't want us to know.
Facts.
That's the history they don't want us to know. Because they throw out these words without giving you historical context of the party who historically oppressed and minorities and blacks, slavery and gun control. You know, it's a real deceitful. I'm just in awe still that Naller had the nerve to say and look at him in his face and say, to shoot American troops, bro. Like, you know what he means. Unless the people who think that we can never go to a tyrannical state is just, I call it extreme privilege and luxury, because you just trust the government so much and you feel you're always going to be all right. Not everybody has that luxury. Not everyone has that luxury, man. But yeah, man, wow. What an ending. I'm jawed, because his response is just like, this is insane. But nonetheless,
he talked about how even when there was a time where the apparatus of the government was against the people, how guns played an important role to defend their right against the tyranny of government. Exactly. He cited it, he brought it up, and obviously we don't see the debate on this because I don't think that that's what they were talking about. I think he brought it up and because someone else did, and then they went on a back and forth there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, that's insane, man. In light of everything we've spoken about, man, you get to look at what freedoms, government overreach, all these things are literally what we've been talking about, from the in-and-out shutdown, Ron DeSantis, gun control. And, we'll be back at it tomorrow and the next day to, break down these topics. And again, check us out in our different platforms. We are on Twitch. Follow us on Twitch. We got Macho Fix 88, Savory Edition, right? Follow us also on Twitter. Same user handles. And follow me on TikTok. My TikTok is booming.
I got the TikTok.
Throw that out there again. Throw that out.
It is booming. I got one going too. I just got one up yesterday.
Oh yeah. Macho Fix, right?
Yeah, at Macho Fix 88.
Yep. YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Come with us, join us. But at the end of the day, we're having fun with this. We're talking about all different kind of topics related to culture and politics that have to do with everybody's life, right? I would say I think everybody has some type of, I wouldn't say interest, but impact on these topics, So if that's you, come join us. We'll be live here again at 6. Appreciate everybody. Join us until next time.
Let's keep the conversation going. We'll see you here at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow.
Yes, sir.